Actually not. Okay, now I've done that.
Close it and then open it. I don't see the second agenda. Is there a second one?
There's only one agenda.
Oh, there's no add-ons? from-
No, we took care of it. So
Oh,
now it's
excellent.
join, click on more. More. Click on live broadcast. Do you see live broadcast anywhere? Live stream perhaps? Yes, I think this is it. And then live on YouTube. That's what I think. And it's supposed to be this one. And then it's supposed to be.
Amanda, did you get a message from Essie? This will be a little late.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, she's at a open house
Oh, I heard about that.
at the school.
Yeah, I heard there was one
Oh,
at school.
parent open
Phoenix
house.
is there.
I
Yeah.
bet Julie has one. Oh, no. their
Julie
kids
had
aren't
one
the same.
already.
Okay.
Julie had one at the high school already.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now it says go live. And now it says. The blue bar opens.
How are we going
I need
to
to X out
do
of it.
the
Wait,
acknowledgement individually?
y'all figure it out. X out of it right here. X out of it here. If you don't see the black ribbons, press Alt. I don't know what he's talking about. And tab at the same time. Alt. What's tab? Is that like enter? Is tab enter? No, that's this. Oh, no, now I'm back to this. Oh, and the meeting screen will show. Okay, that's not good. Starting over. Uh-oh. Oh,
Do you think
no.
Rhett knows how to do this
Why would he know how to do
from
this?
justice meetings?
No, I don't do this. Okay, I was there and now it's gone. Oh, shoot. Can I undo it? No. Shoot. I hate this. All available cloud storage? No. Don't tell me that.
You want to just get out of there and try again?
Yeah, so here's where it was.
Okay.
So that's zooming, but I don't know that it's live streaming. I can't tell. If I do this again more, and then I say live stream. Stop live stream. Oh, so it seems to be happening. It seems to be happening. Look at that. It says to stop. I don't want to stop. So it must be going, right?
Okay.
Don't you
So
think? Do you
is
think?
Rosanna here?
Not yet. Hi. Dawn entered the way.
Hello. Hi there. For you.
This is so intense. Getting this right.
I'm just getting ready.
There were some Central Hudson ones that nobody signed. There was other ones where you signed one and Essie didn't, or Essie signed one and you didn't. And that sheet is to help you confirm whatever you need to. Hello, Dawn.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Who's
Oh,
there?
awesome.
It's Dawn.
Yeah,
Where's my?
I'm gonna listen in while I make dinner.
Is my favorite pen. Okay. Got 600 signatures. Amanda, I never ran out of ink.
I have all kinds of details, some from that's so far. The budget was years ago. I think it's budget. That's the adopted budget that you took. Oh, that was the current.
24, that's a code.
Current budget where we're at right now,
Yeah.
at that moment, whenever you printed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the one we're working on for next year. Yeah.
Oh, it's after 7. We should get going.
Okay.
Okay, I guess Roseanne will join us a little bit later. We hope the live stream is working.
Sometimes she lets people in.
Who?
Roseanne?
No,
No, you just monitor that?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, usually, I mean, Essie's been helping me with that, but she's.
So we should all just keep an eye on screen and see if somebody's in the waiting
Yeah.
room.
Especially because Rosanna's maybe joining us late. She asked that when we speak, when we do things, identify ourselves with our names.
Oh, keep
So that,
forgetting.
because she's gonna be trying to catch up on doing it somehow, so, yeah, let's do that.
Right.
Okay, we've been trying to do that, but let's.
Yeah.
Okay, so folks, it's 7:05, so we need to start our meeting. We do have a quorum. So at 7 o'clock, don't I have to call the meeting in order and then have the public hearing?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
always open the meeting.
That's what I thought.
Yes,
But I
but don't we start with the pledge no matter
Well,
what?
first we open the meeting
Okay,
at 7:05, a call of the meeting of the town board on
Right.
September 19th to order. Okay, please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, tonight we have a public hearing on the prior notice law that we are going to adopt. So is there anyone here for the public hearing? Okay. Yeah, so I don't want to close the public hearing until we get further in the meeting, but we'll just do that. Okay, so we do have our Indigenous Land and Black Labor Acknowledgement. Who would like to read it today?
I would.
Okay, Kitty, please do.
Okay, Essie Lewis and I worked on this quite a long time, and this is the final version. The town of New Paltz humbly acknowledges that we are on the traditional lands of the Munsee, Esopus, and Lenape people. The Indian Removal Act of 1830 forced the people to relocate to inhospitable territory far from the bountiful valley and mountains we inhabit today. The town further acknowledges that much of the physical structure of our town and village was built by enslaved Africans who labored as the property of their landowners until 1827 on this very land. We acknowledge the contributions, resilience, and accomplishments of the BIPOC community who have overcome historic injustice to inform our past and inspire our future. Please visit the resource library on our website to learn more.
Very nice. And I had a comment on this statement earlier this week by someone who felt that it didn't completely represent the relationship of the Zuzine, the Huguenots who came here and interacted with the local indigenous population. But it certainly represents what's happened in this area, not because necessarily the Huguenots, but because of the practices and policies that were in place before us. And the folks that lived here for thousands of years pretty much aren't here anymore because of that. And that's what we're acknowledging. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. Kitty,
Second,
okay.
And
second.
that's Edgar, right? Say it nice and loud so that.
I seconded the agenda.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Thanks. Okay, do we have announcements today besides the ones that are here? Does anyone have any special personal announcement? Nope, nope.
I just would like to say that please remember there's composting at the transfer station, which is on Clearwater Road, and they happily take your food scraps, including meat, and turn it into soil that the town makes money from. Soil and compost, soil and, yeah.
Compost, yeah.
Yes, so the other thing is, I think the compost at the community center is still closed.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's, oh, I'm sorry to hear that because
Yeah.
I know they're working on it very hard. Okay, sorry to hear that.
I have a quick announcement.
Yes, please.
The Bicycle Pedestrian Safety Committee will be meeting on September the 23rd, 7 to 8:30. And I assume that they will put out a blast email announcing and with a link. It will be a Zoom meeting. And I mentioned it because it didn't appear in the minutes I had announced at the previous meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Edgar. Okay, a couple of others are,
Can I ask a question about that?
Yep.
Do the public do they come sometimes?
Well, they haven't met since I came on.
No, I
on
just
board.
mean,
So he doesn't have any history with them. He's just
Right.
getting started.
I made contact with them.
they're able to, the public's certainly able to come, is the idea.
I'm assuming that I will clarify
Yeah,
with the chair whether it's limited to notification to an email through the blast system.
But you
But
know,
he
this-
told me, he said he was sending out an email, but I'm not sure.
but is this to the public or just the members of that committee?
Well,
They're all
that's what I
available
will.
Yeah,
well,
I've
that's-
attended, so they are.
They're all available, that,
This raises a good point, which is, and maybe Rosanna can help us with this. Our town calendar should show every committee meeting. Because each individual committee has it on their calendar. But if you just as a regular member of the public want to go to our calendar and say, oh, there's a bike ped meeting, or oh, there's an environmental conservation board meeting. Let's try and get it all on
but
one.
do, can we,
town
before we
calendar.
be sure, like, I just don't know the answer to this. Are all meetings open to the public? And the point is, though, I'm certain that the point is that it's for the committee or commission or board to meet. You know, they're not used, it's not like anyone who's interested. It's not really,
I
know
think
what I
most
mean?
of
They're
these
not-
committees would love to have some live,
Yeah.
people come who are maybe interested and want to get involved. I think most of them would welcome, an interested person sitting in and maybe joining them,
Mhm.
because most of them are pretty short.
it would
And,
seem, it would
yeah.
seem if a person was coming that they might be interested, and
Yeah.
most of the commissions and committees and boards need people.
Right.
So in fact, at the ENCB meeting that Tuesday, Monday, someone came,
Oh.
but they were interested in joining. So they're
Great.
coming for a couple times just to see.
See what it's like.
Right,
Very
I think it's a
good.
way to do it. So like I said, it's just nice that if we make it clear to the public.
Yeah.
Whether they're welcome.
We
or-
can do that.
or
We
would-
can certainly do that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
and
we
well,
often put out a thing
besides the
saying we're
planning board
looking for
meeting and Other
more.
meetings like that, I really haven't seen the public at any meetings.
Right.
You know,
We can certainly, because we are putting out things saying we're looking for more people to join different ones in particular, but we could also just put out, these meetings are open to the public. Please
Right.
come, drop in, see
Right.
what's going on. You're welcome to be there. We'll make sure the chairs all know that before we do it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and we could announce it every time because we are certainly looking for
Yeah.
people, sometimes it's hard to make quorum.
Yep.
Over the decades, students from the school district with the participation in government, they call it PIC classes. They sort of pick different kinds of
they do.
entities to go to. I believe wholeheartedly that we should encourage participation. I like the idea of posting it so you can find it.
Yeah.
I had sort of had to dig deep to find out this committee when I was assigned to it.
right.
And I look forward to working with them, and I will clarify, because he said he'll send out an email. I made the assumption that it will be like many of the other announcements that come through the blast from the.
What, Flash?
Well, you can sign up for e-blast whenever there's an announcement by either the town or the village, you have to sign up for them individually. You get an email about it. Yeah. Okay, so some of the other announcements we have, the Field of Dreams on September 22nd from 12 to 4 p.m. is the 7th Annual Recovery Fest, a day of celebration and remembrance, big letters, free food, music, resources, and more. So Field of Dreams on September 22nd.
They're also, and I will be participating in it, they're doing a remembrance wall.
Yes,
For the people that we have lost to substance abuse, et cetera.
yeah,
And I think it's a very important activity for our community and it's part of thriving together, trying to address our safety issues, if you would, in the community.
right.
Beyond policing.
And all of the board members, Phoenix sent these for all of you. So there's things about other activities coming up so that you'll be in the know. Okay, the other thing is that on Wednesday, October 9th, there will be a rabies clinic. Okay, this way. This is offered by the Town of New Paltz Dog Control Officer and the Town Clerk's Office on Wednesday, October 9th from 4 to 5 p.m. at the Town Highway Garage that's on Clearwater Road. So we hope folks are aware of this and can come and get this taken care of for their critters. It's for dogs and cats. It's $15 each, will be administered by Dr. Lori Stein, who's a traveling veterinarian.
And there's also will be heartworm medication there. The rabies certificates will be presented at the, after the vaccination. And these are essential for licensing your dog. So we want to make sure your dog stays safe and everybody who comes in contact with your dog is safe. They have to be on leashes and cats have to be in carriers. Cash or check only.
Taking care of our people and our pets.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right. That's what we do. Okay, another thing that's going to be exciting is right here in this room on October 1st. Our county executive, Jen Metzger, will be giving the county executive budget address at 1 p.m. And we would like to thank Jen Metzger for awarding not one, but 2 grants to the town of New Paltz for their solar installation and electric vehicle grants. So we have 17,500 that we got to put solar panels on the recycle office that will also help run the compost mixer. And we got another 61,750 to put together with our other pieces for putting solar on the roof of this building. So this is all very exciting. And we actually had the RFP out. We received 6 proposals in response. So I'm reviewing those, but I've been kind of distracted by budget stuff. So we will be soon selecting someone to start moving that project
That's
forward.
1 p.m.
1 p.m. on October 9th. No, excuse me, October 1st. Got it backwards.
right here.
Right here,
Okay.
right here. Okay,
Is
and
there a
also,
possibility that we have a update on the compost, or should I talk with you individually about that? The grant for the aerated system,
yeah, talk to me about that.
yeah, but
Okay. Also the town and village of New Paltz will be holding a joint meeting on September 25th at 7 p.m. at Village Hall to discuss the various documents that are needed to get started on a study about consolidation. Okay, I think that's, let's see, we do have openings on our zoning board of appeals. We need someone to that would like to be involved with that. And there's going to be a couple of other openings. We're getting to a couple of resignations with the consent decree, but there'll be one on the police commission and 1 or even 2 on the ethics committee. Okay, any other announcements? Okay,
Just the joint meeting is the 25th or 26th?
25th.
Okay.
it's
And they-
Wednesday,
They have a big public hearing on
good cause.
good cause
eviction.
eviction at 7, but you know, we'll start.
We'll figure out how they want us to work with them.
Right.
Right, so we appreciate their giving us that opportunity.
Yeah, hosting an important meeting.
Right. Okay, is there any public input? No. Okay,
Do we have anybody in the waiting room?
in the waiting room. Nope,
Just
just Dawn. Justice, would you like to give public input at this point in time?
If you want to consider it public input, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
We do ask you
I-
keep it a little bit.
I'm too
succinct.
loud.
No, not too
3
loud.
minutes.
Oh,
Speak of-
absolutely,
Yeah,
Okay.
project.
absolutely.
Okay, so first you-
Supervisor,
yes, sir, your name, please, for the record.
Rhett Wires. I
Very
am,
good.
The junior justice in the town of New Paltz. My co-judge Jim Bacon was hoping to get here in time, but he's at the magistrate's dinner. I'm not sure if he's gonna make it. Here is the reason why we are here. We have been operating with only 2 full-time clerks since since just before COVID. When I came on, I took over for John Katz in the end of 2019. And at that time, there were 3.5 clerk positions. At the end of 2019, it was the half-time position, retired. The other full-time position, Kelly Betters, had taken a job getting paid more in our neighboring town of Lloyd. Same position as a justice court clerk. We had 2 clerks. We had begun interviewing in early 2020. And then we may recall that everything shut down because of the COVID crisis. At that time, we of course put on hold adding, or I should say replacing our staff. And we also heeded the supervisor and the board's request that we cut our budget as 25% or more, which we did. And we held strong through COVID with just the 2 clerks. And although it's not ethical, and our position and our operations of our justice court is not a one-to-one where our revenues in any way justify our budget. They have nothing to do with each other. Our revenues, which are essentially fine-based and otherwise, are just that. They are meted out by the judges who are doing so with justice in mind, not a revenue stream for the town.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
With that said, I have been told by your predecessor in the past that because our budget revenues were down 2020, 2021, that, we just didn't have the ability to add the staff back. And I was saying, okay, I know, but we're ramping back up the volume, the caseload volume that was suppressed during COVID, during the lockdown, is now returning. And I'd say we are out of COVID. And I happened to take a look at not just the revenue streams, because I am keenly aware, I write a check every month based on the revenues, and the revenues have returned to pre-COVID levels. I also looked at the matters, the number of cases. There's vehicle and traffic. There is criminal matters. There are civil matters, landlord-tenant matters. They all come in. And the numbers that we are on pace for in 2024 are now back to what they were in 2019 and 2018. And yet I have only 2 staff members. We have 2 full-time clerks. During COVID, we actually lost one of our clerks because she took a higher paying job as an aide in the elementary school. Yeah, and I'm not going to get on my soapbox about, how important it is to pay my clerk staff accordance with the type and nature of the sensitive matters that they're handling. But just the volume is there such that we desperately need to have the position restored. And I'm not saying that we jump immediately to 3.5, but I know that if we don't get another clerk back in there, our clerk staff, we're hitting up on levels of exhaustion. They aren't able to take the leave time that they have. We have to close down the court. If one person is out sick, we end up with required closures because, it requires the staff for us to get ready. I'll hear such, we have had to limit when we can even answer phone calls because they can't handle the rest of their day if they get derailed with all the phone calls that come in. So they have to wait until the afternoon after they've done their morning work to push it. And I will also say that the thing when you're overwhelmed and you can't do all your work, you have to do required work. What's not required is enforcement. There were some handcuffs that were put on our staff for collection purposes by the justice court reforms. There were certain things you used to be able to get fines paid when people didn't pay them as they were supposed to. You could have certain recourses. Some of that has been taken away. But the bottom line is if we had another staff member, some of our ability to collect would be enhanced. And I would suggest, although I'm not going to say there's a one-to-one correlation or otherwise, but if someone delved into it from a fiscal side, the money that would be invested in getting that other staff member would be made up for with increasing revenues based on our ability to collect. Because if we can't chase after people who are late or delayed in paying the fines that they've been meted out, then it's just, income revenue stream to the town and county that is not coming in. And so that is the pitch. I can say right now that I looked at we have written checks. I know that I guess the state will log it in and then they give you guys reports. I'm not sure when the fiscal numbers will match up, but I know that as of the end of August, so 2/3 of the year through, Judge Bacon and I wrote $492,000, 603. And no cents, dollars worth of checks from our account, transferring the money over to the town. And that prorates to a total that we anticipate in excess of 700,000, actually closer to 740,000. So that is very similar to the amount of revenue that was received in 2019, pre-COVID. The need is there, and I am begging, because if we lose any other clerk staff, and I would say we happen to have one of the most efficient, best clerks in this region. If Becky were to hit a wall and just not be able to do this thing, it's too frustrating, it's too demanding, too draining, we would have to hire 2 people to replace her. I'm telling you, you need the help, please. And I don't envy your position right now. I understand that the budgets are extremely difficult during an inflationary cycle, and that we have a lot of constraints, but we have been patiently biding our time to present this. I've been begging your predecessor, and now I have to put it out there, because if it doesn't go right, we could really have a major mess on our hands that will cost a lot more in the long term. Thank you for your time. Any questions? No?
No, thank you. We appreciate hearing this.
My only comment is that the town board hasn't seen the budget yet, but we are aware that we are a service organization. We wouldn't have a budget if every department provided enough revenue to pay for what it does. So we are well aware and sensitive to the fact that you run a public service, and that it has to come somewhere out of our budget, as does the police force and the teen program. So, basically the town is a service organization, and we appreciate your part in that.
Thank you all for your service too. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, okay, is there anyone on Zoom land? 2 people entered okay, let's see who they are. I'm just viewing, I'm viewing. I didn't open that other part. Oh, they're both Rosanna. Okay, she's got, there's one, and there's one. Okay. Hi, Rosanna, sorry I didn't see you there. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Okay, so now the next thing on our agenda is actually to hear from Jim Tinger about the New Paltz Youth Program.
I got some packets for you,
Oh, good.
just to kind of follow along some of the things. I know you guys
Huh?
already know a lot about the program, but
Thank you.
some things to kind of.
Thank you.
Sure.
For Essie.
Thank you.
No, they're new. Oh, they came in time. Yeah.
Is that yours? Is that okay?
Sure.
Sorry. I need to-
Tired?
Yeah.
You can
Um,
sit. Which
Or
one is it?
how about a chair?
You
Is
can
that
sit
okay?
right there, yeah.
Oh, is that all right?
Yes,
You can
perfect.
sit. Essie was coming, but you can sit in her chair. Keep it warm for her.
I'll let her kick me.
Okay, so this is not Essie. Okay.
Okay, I don't want anybody to get confused. Thank you for letting me come by. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you know a lot about the program already. There's some things that town supervisor asked me to stop by and kind of go over some of the additional things. I send emails out, but I know it's kind of a lot. So I thought I can kind of go over this a little bit and talk a little bit more about the stuff that maybe you don't know as much about what we do as a program. The drop-in center is kind of the epicenter of the program. You see it every time you drive down Main Street, of course. We serve 6 to 12th graders, of course. The town bought the building back in 1989. Okay, I took over in 94. And one thing that we're really proud of with the program is that kind of how we've expanded so much. When I took over, it was closed for a couple of months. We kind of did all these renovations, and it was, I was 23 years old or whatever, and
Full of vim and vigor.
yeah, sure. And then having to kind of be like, what do we do here? And what's the need here? And trying to build it up from there. So, you know, one of the things that I always like to talk about is kind of the consistency of the program through the years and how little we started with and how much we've kind of grown to have. The center, when I started, we were open a few days a week, to the point where we were open 7 days a week pre-COVID, and then things changed, of course. We average about 10,000 sign-ins every year for the past multiple years, really. Last year was 9,800. We're already past 6,000 for this year.
Can I ask you a question? Is
Yeah.
that with, when a person comes a second time, is that another sign-in for that group?
Yes, yeah.
Sign-in, so it's not that many
It's
people.
attended.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, so when somebody
I
comes for
thought
the
so,
first
right.
time, we register them, we have, we register them, we get all their information, we contact the parents, make sure they're allowed to be there, of course, and
Mhm.
kind of go over what the rules are, give the tours, and do whatever. Our policy is that sixth graders have to stay throughout the day until they are leaving for the day, whether they get picked up or walked off. 7th through 12th graders, the parents have the option that they have to stay there, or they can come and go. The parents have to, we have 12th graders that have to stay all day, we have 7th graders that can come and go. It really is based on what the parents want. 6th graders, because it's their first taste of independence for a lot of them, so we require that they stay there no matter what the parents say. We say, well, you have to stay, we want to keep an eye on this.
Cool.
And then what happens is when they come, we have a data person, which is a daily attendance taker, and that person is responsible for them, for signing them in, signing them out throughout the day. So whenever a parent calls and says, was Johnny there today? Yeah, he was there at 2:40 and left at 3:37, you know, something to that effect. They're responsible to you know, be with the sheets, make sure everybody signs in and out, but also double checking to make sure everybody is there who is supposed to be there, you know. That being said, I tell parents all the time, we're not a, you know, gated community. I don't stand up in a shark tower with binoculars and make sure if you're, you know, your kid has to be responsible enough where they can be trusted and can control their behavior to the point where we're not worried about them running away or walking off. So, and parents understand that going in. We do a lot of activities. Obviously, there's a lot of events that we do. Every Monday we go up to Mohawk. We have a lot of collaborations, and I'll talk a little about that, but every Monday we go up to Mohawk Mountain House. We've had this thing with them for about 12 years now. Actually, it was a conversation I had with Robert Leduc, who was running a restaurant up there. We were at a meeting, and he said how much food they throw out. And I was like, I hate throwing out food. He's like, oh my God, we throw out so much food. So I said, hey, we could
We
use
eat
that.
so much food.
Yeah.
We do.
Throw it
So,
our way.
you know, so we go up there every Monday with the van. We load up the van with kids, and they give us a food donation, right? So they'll make a prime rib for lunch, serve it to their guests. Now they have a half a prime rib that they throw out. So instead, they
I
put
hope
it in
they compost.
containers. And so they put it for.
They give it to him.
us.
Well, besides, I'm sure they, on not Mondays, I hope they're composting is all.
Oh, yes, that's what they say they do. I've seen them do it, yes.
Cool.
And then we also turn it into a trip. They allow us to go for a hike. They allow us to hang out for a bit. So we turn it into like a 2-hour ordeal where we come back with food donation, and it's a nice experience for the kids. And then we use that food throughout the week. So Tuesday we have tacos. So we make burritos out of the leftover meat. We freeze whatever we don't use. Wednesday's Waffle Wednesday, we cook with the kids. So it's a relatively cheap way to feed a lot of people and get the kids involved in a communal activity. We don't cook or do anything without the kids. Thursday we make empanadas, same thing. Meat, you know, cheap tortillas, and then we kind of do that with them. So there's always different things. There's a whole packet of flyers here that kind of go over some of the other activities we do on a regular basis. One of them, well, I'll go over some of them with you. We have a BIPOC group that meets every week. Well, it's every other week. And then we have a girls talk group that meets every other week as well, girls discussion group. We've done it, discussion groups since we started 30 years ago. They have just evolved to be different things based on what the, what the problem was, honestly, but also what the interest was. Right? So way back when we used to group with the African Women's Alliance on campus, and we had our Young Women's Alliance group, and we would do kind of a big sister thing that went on for years until it didn't. And then all these other things kind of evolved. So tutoring is a huge part of what we do. I love saying this, we provide more tutoring to a school district than any other community program in New York State, right? And we researched that and found that to be true. I put a sheet in here, on the third page, just to give you a little snapshot of the tutoring that we do. And this is the spring, really highlights the spring. And if you go line by line, you see how many classrooms we tutor in each week and how many students we work with in total each week.
Wow.
So it adds up to, you know, just in the spring, we were in 695 classrooms. and we tutored 4,500 kids. And to your point, Julie, that's not the same kids. We asked tutors, so when you work with somebody, are you working with a group of kids, 10 kids, 15 kids? Yes, okay, so then you work with 15 kids, that's 15 tutoring experiences. That's kind of how we add those numbers. But the classrooms is kind of more of an indication of how much we're there.
Jim,
So, yeah,
when you say classroom, do you mean in your building or in the school?
no, this is at the middle school.
Okay,
So all
Wow,
day long.
okay.
So in 94, just tell me if I'm talking too much, but in 94, I started it with a group of kids, a group of friends at college. We would go there after school. They let us go there after school. We'd have a classroom and students would come in and we'd give after school help. And then it's evolved to the point where now every Friday, the guidance counselor at the middle school sends us a list of all the teachers that would like help in their classrooms the
Oh.
following week. So they basically ask the teachers, do you want some free help in the classrooms? And a lot of them are like, sure, that sounds like a good idea. So we get this list, this template every week, and it usually starts small at the beginning of the year and then of course expands. And then we take all of our tutors that I train to be tutors from the college that we have, all our volunteers, our interns. And I train to be tutors, and then we, based on their availability, we put them in the classrooms throughout the day. And ideally fill up an entire day, but that has been more difficult since COVID. Because our volunteer base has kind of shrunk a little bit, you know, so one of the things that we rely on with our staff is we get work study students from the college. So in 2000, just to give you an idea, in 2018, we had a $40,000 budget from the college to hire their students to work at our programs. So that really filled up a lot of our tutoring programs because we hire a lot of education students who, you know, we're looking to do, you know, to try to
Experience.
practice their craft that they're gonna have, right? So we put them in the classrooms based on their interest. But then in 2000, where was I? So 2022, after COVID, it was down to 19,000. So that got cut in half. So the amount of, so less help means less tutoring, right? So we weren't able to tutor in as many classes, you know, as we wanted to. And then it went down to 16,000 last year. And then this year, it's gone back up to about 20,000 for us to hire work study students. So we get a lot of help. The college, I mean, has been such a huge asset to us.
So this reflects middle school only?
This is just middle school. Yeah, high school, actually, the teachers stay after and do a lot of tutoring there. And also it's not close. So a lot of college kids don't drive. So walking to the middle school, that's why we're such a big pool for them, because we're so accessible. They don't need to drive anywhere. What we do use them at the high school for is we do the cafe program there, right? This is something that Phoenix, as you know, Phoenix, we both started that in 2017 as a response to all the issues that they were having in school. They wanted we've talked about this for years, trying to get a space at the high school during lunchtime, right? Lunchtime at the middle school, recess. They get to go out, they get to let out a lot of energy. Lunchtime at the high school, not so much, right? You're in the cafeteria, or you get to sit outside, you know, and that's not a slight to the high school, that's just kind of how high schools are. So we had said for years, we'd love to bring a space to you where we can, you know, just give us a room. We can basically run a mini youth center for a couple of hours where kids can go, take a break, take a breath, do, you know, reading, coloring, you know, we have some hot chocolate, we got music, you know, board games, Legos, just chill, you know what I mean? Just somewhere out of the cafeteria mayhem that can be really difficult, for kids, of course. So in 2017, we were able to do that, and we've done it, since, me and Phoenix have kind of run that space. So we do an indoor, there's a flyer for that here too, but we have an indoor space called the Cozy Corner. So that's where they can get a pass and come to during their lunch period, or they can get a pass and we do outdoor recess there. They're allowing us to do recess where we brought a basketball net, like there's a hoop outside. We bring out frisbees, footballs, we set up the badminton thing. SCX still. No, that's-
You can stay here and finish,
Sure.
so, yeah.
Right.
But-
So now we can go out there with them and run recess with them, which the school loves us because it lets a lot of the kids get out a lot of energy. And the kids who use the outdoor recess part don't want to really go to Cozy Corner. And the kids who use Cozy Corner aren't really going outside to play basketball. So we wind up serving a lot of kids that way during the school day.
That's every day?
No, so that's the thing. It
Friday.
used to be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But what's happened since COVID is that we did a number of other programs that we're continuing to do. So we've had to limit a lot of our stuff. So we're just doing Fridays right now. They'd love us to do 5 days a week.
Mhm.
It's just, I can't really staff all
What,
that.
what would it take for you to, so you're only doing Friday?
We're just doing Fridays, right?
So what would it take for you to do one more day? What is the staffing?
It's more
Issue.
staff. I mean, that's the problem. I
How
have
much
to-
is staff do
Your,
you need?
your staff or is this intern?
It's my staff. Our staff has to be there.
Okay.
So it's our staff, it's Phoenix,
Okay.
and it's, it's us bringing interns with us as well to help out. And have to be available between 11 to 1. Problem is, we're also running a youth center. We're also overseeing the tutoring program, and
Yeah, it's a
there's just a lot. So we're hoping to expand. We wanted to continue. We want to be in the high school, just like we want to be in the middle school, right? And in the community. We want to make sure we got we're in there, and I don't want to lose that. So we just kind of said, let's just start back with Friday, and then let's see if we could build back. And the same thing goes to this basketball night. So since '94, we ran a program called Games, right, which stood for Games and More every Saturday. Which was, we used to use the middle school, the high school, the college. College used to have an athletic bubble. Remember that bubble that they had until it deflated, right? But we used to use all 3 of these things, and we used to do it Friday and Saturday nights from 6 to midnight. We used to run a really big program with hundreds of kids, middle school and high school. And we just had to tone it down after a while because it just got to be a lot. Anyway, but then COVID happened and we couldn't get back into schools afterwards because they were limiting organizations using school space. But now the new superintendent's been really great about really opening up and saying, like, let's offer more programs. And then we looked at it and went, but we're doing all these other things. And I was like, all right, well, how can we get back in there and do a basketball night or something? Just limited to just basketball in the gym. A lot of the kids play, but we have so many kids who play basketball. Let's start there. So we just decided first Friday of every month, let's start there and do a basketball night at the middle school from 7 to 9. And then, and let's see if we can build from that point. So, you know what I mean? So that's how these programs kind of evolve through time. What else? I mean, we run a lot of events, right? So we took over Clean Sleep when that kind of was going down. We took it over, so the youth center runs that now, community cleanup program. We do that in April.
And the clothing drive, that thing,
What's that?
the clothing drive?
So we have a clothing bin at the Church of the Nazarene across from Bosse's. So we organize that. And we get, we get the revenue is like $400 to $500 a month off of that.
Yeah.
That's the town.
Where
That's
is
like our
that sold?
easiest.
Where is it sold?
It's what is it called?
Where is
Where-
it sold?
Oh,
getting
where's
revenue.
it sold? So St. Pauli Textile are the people that run all these all over the state. And I guess what I was told is that the clothing gets sold to like
Oh,
developing countries for
Okay.
cheap. And
but
then
you just get money for certain, whatever.
It's
the
by
amount.
weight
for
or
based on how much we got. I was told that we have the most popular box in New York State. That's nothing but us, but it just happens to be the location.
It's very
It-
convenient.
It is
It is.
loaded. It's
Yeah, it's always
so
full.
we
It's
have-
like, I just-
we have the easiest job. We basically have to open it up, go in there and move all the clothes from the shoot area off to the right so people can put more stuff in.
Yeah.
But it's fun. We go there with the kids and everything.
I'm so sorry.
And we have to tie up all the loose
I don't know
bags.
where that is.
It's right
It's on
across from
Sunset
Bosse's.
and
It's-
Route
it's-
32.
Yes.
It's there.
Oh,
Thank
you
No,
don't?
Bosse's is
No,
in-
like.
Oh,
really-
yeah,
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 okay.
okay.
All right, so it's at the bottom of Sunset Bridge?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
It's that parking
easy.
lot right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
super
I didn't
easy.
know there was a drop.
Yeah.
there.
So we always tell
Yeah,
people
it's
when they want to donate clothes, it's like, well, we don't really use them, but we have,
Yeah.
certainly family is the next stop, but
Yeah.
we drop it up there. We get tons of other donations. This is what's been good about having all these relationships over the years. We kind of build up these things. Labella's gives us pizza all the time. Bagel Cafe every Monday gives us their leftover bagels, which amounts to us filling up our freezers. So there's always, easy food to access
Thank
that
you,
we get for
Labella,
free.
the bagel place.
I didn't know they had leftover. Every time I go, they're out of bagels.
There is the
Only
amount that they
everything
make.
bagel.
Giving them to.
I don't want to dissuade them from making too many bagels, but there's always so much left. And we get a lot of, so I talked about the clothing bin, how we get money from that. Last year we won the Lowe's Hometown Community Grant. So there was, I don't know, it was something like 2,000 applications. We were one of 200 finalists, and then we were one of 50 winners. And we got $42,000, and that's how we were able to redo our roof. We built a gazebo with the kids and the staff of Lowe's, which was really fun. We built a shed. And they actually had so many shingles left over that this summer I retiled the shed that we had back there.
Oh, good.
I re-shingled it.
Yeah. Great.
So that was pretty fun. And we have 2 vending machines
Ah, yes.
at Southside and at the youth center that we run to raise money.
And
so-
anytime you're at town hall, you too
Oh.
can buy a bag of Fritos for $1.
Okay.
Those are my favorites. Don't buy them all.
Yeah, for years, this guy Ed comes by every summer for the last 2 weeks, and he runs a yard sale and he raises money for, it's like stuff that he collects throughout the year, recycling materials. And people donate stuff, materials, and then, yeah, so it's kind of a big, it's a little messy, but it's good. But, you know, and he donates the money to the, that women's shelter and family, and then he gives us some, and then, you know. So it's a nice.
I didn't
thing
realize
to
that.
do there.
It's
Yeah,
right
we do,
next to the center. It's not on your property, right?
it is, it's on our.
It's
property.
on
Yeah, it's right in front.
Okay.
It's like a big.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, literally been doing that for 30
What
years.
happens
So,
the day after? We've all had yard sales
you
and
should see our lawn, yeah. it doesn't
Yeah.
look good, Yeah,
you-
it grows back.
no, not the
But
lawn, but I
stuff
mean,
left
the
over.
leftover
is-
stuff.
Oh, I see. Yeah, well, a lot of stuff we put on the curb, and the other stuff we'll put in the attic for next year. You know what I mean? So we have some storage for that. It's
Okay.
like what we do with the haunted house, right? It's the same thing. Community service, we have so much help from so many people. Obviously, you mentioned the participation in government kids. We get a lot of them to do their community service with us in middle school. You know, we get a lot of the kids from that, and it just kind of helps with a lot of events that we do. You know, and me and Phoenix work together on a lot of these events. You mentioned Recovery Fest that's coming up. I'm the grill master. But then we also do, you know, the Holiday Hooper is something that we work on
That's
together.
coming
We've been
up.
working together for years. We also, I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, but we also, I'm a youth mental health first aid trainer. So what that is that I do these trainings for adults in the community and on campus, where I train adults on how to work with young people who may be struggling with a mental health challenge or a mental health crisis, and how to differentiate between those two things, and how to step up and do something instead of keep on walking by, right? So it's a long 8-hour training. It's a wonderful training. I love doing that. And I'm also a teen mental health first aid trainer, where we go into schools and we train teens on how to approach their friends who may be struggling as well, and how to do that in a way that's effective and not just ignore it. So that's fun too. Well, fun, but it's important.
It's important.
Yeah, and our events, right? Haunted House, Easter egg hunt, the regatta, Thanksgiving feast we do. We have with our youth center community. We have a big Thanksgiving feast the Thursday before Thanksgiving. Everybody donates and cooks and what else?
Can I ask you a question, Jim? These are very nice flyers. I especially like the pink one. Who makes them?
Sophie, who works at the youth center, does the flyers for us. Thank you to Canva. Ooh,
This is so great. I love this one.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Frisbee.
You
Good
know,
job,
but I think,
Sophie.
you know, and our interns as well. So, counseling, I'm sorry. So if I could just quickly talk about that. So, one of the things, so I also work as a therapist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker. So, after COVID, there was a lot of, you know, our waiting lists at therapy agencies went through the roof. And it was a lot of kids, right? Because kids were isolated for, you know, 2 years for the most part. And suddenly we're developing a lot of issues when they were going back to school. Parents tried to get their kids into therapy, and the waiting lists were crazy, because you had, when can kids see therapists, right? After school. So you're talking about a 4 to 5 o'clock window, 4 to 7 o'clock window, where they're trying to see somebody who probably doesn't have hours that late, so on and so forth. So we decided me and John Wilson, who works at the center and is also a therapist, we said, well, why don't we try to develop a counseling program that we could run through the center that doesn't require insurance, that doesn't require money, because that's another reason, of course, a big obstacle for people who cannot get services. So we had discussed this was back in 2020 or whatever. And long story short, we got a room at the community center, where we were at the conference room there. That is still a conference room, but we also able to kind of make it a little bit more adaptable for a counseling session. So we utilize that 3 or 4 nights a week. And we're able to get college students who are graduate students who are studying mental health counseling, who are about to get their degree and need some experience working with people in a therapeutic setting. So I supervise those graduate students to work with kids that we get recommended from the community. Right? So parents, community members will fill out an intake form, simple 1 to 2 page form, because it's not, you know, for insurance companies, so it doesn't need to be 20 pages long. And just, you know, basic stuff. And we really try to focus on just not quick, but solution focused, right? So identify issues, you know, come up with some goals. For for a lot of the kids, it's anxiety and it's depression. So it's a lot of building a toolbox for them, right? Not literally, but you know what I mean, like how to anxiety reducing techniques. Things that they can, a lot of things about communication skills and how they can communicate how they're feeling, because a lot of them don't quite understand. They're just angry or they're just having these big feelings. And then, hopefully, get them on a good path and then move on to the next thing. A lot of kids get worried about therapy because they're afraid they're gonna be in therapy for the rest of their lives. And we're really just trying to have them an initial positive experience with therapy that will really play positive for them for the rest of their lives, right? And then also being able to, get them to understand how they're feeling and normalize a lot of these feelings because they don't quite understand where this is coming from. What am I feeling? Well, this is normal. You're going through a lot of things. Let's talk about what those things are, so on and so forth. So
Could you meet- That's free.
that's free.
And are there openings right now? For example,
We have a few people on a waiting list right
Okay.
now. I have 3 counselors right now. And I'm gonna get a lot more right now the counselor I have are from Fordham. So we utilize the whole,
Wow.
it seems. We have interns from Utica, Fordham, Marist, Dutchess, Ulster, and New Paltz. The graduate students are from New Paltz because mental health services here, mental health major for graduate students. And Fordham and Utica both have mental health counseling as a major as well. So we utilize them for our counseling. And so we're getting more in a lot of the spring ones come from New Paltz. So we're gonna get a lot more counselors soon.
And also your staff,
Yeah,
which you have maybe one person who's full-time, right, or
well, what's considered full-time again?
40.
40 is considered full-time. Yeah, so no.
Okay, so they're all some amount of part-time, but they're all graduate social workers, right?
Well, not all of them. Well, Andy, who's been with me for 15 years as a teacher at Spack and Kill Middle School. Heaven, who is a master's in special ed, is teaching at Poughkeepsie Elementary. So they come basically after, and they're with me for the rest of this. These are people who are working full-time gigs, hard full-time gigs who are coming after. John, who's been with me for 15 years, works as a therapist in Kingston and spends his whole Wednesday doing sessions with kids for free for kids that we have, providing this resource. Yeah, Sophie's getting her master's in social work. Justin has his degree. Justin, who's been with it, I've known him since he's 31. He's been with us since he was in 6th grade, went through our entire program with us, went away to college, got a degree, came back and has been working for us for the past 9 years.
So Jim, are
Yeah.
kids able to come during the school day or can they only come after school?
For
For
counseling? For counseling, they can come during the school day, but we don't necessarily encourage it because we do have availability. It's pretty much set up so we can use the community center from like 4 to 7 on evenings. So,
Okay.
but I mean, they can. It's actually easy for us if they could, but we don't want them to miss school.
Right, I mean, if there was just some sort of, crisis or something.
Sure, and the community center fills up, of course, so we also, the
Right.
Lutheran Church provides us with space as well.
Okay.
Tobias over there is great, lets us use the space there. We
Nice.
also have, the library has a quiet, obviously have the quiet rooms, that's our 3rd option if the other 2 are full. And then the village hall, and the town hall, it's actually been offered as a nighttime, nobody's there, we have a key. Not the best option, not as
Okay.
comfortable.
So far
but
away, yeah,
We actually haven't had to utilize those things,
Okay.
but they are options.
okay,
to us.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, well, I just thought it was important for Jim to come and give us more of an understanding of what happens we all drive by and see that blue building but how many kids are getting something out of this in our community. So, and they're all from New Paltz, right? No, if they're
No,
at the schools, they're not.
everywhere,
They're from
everywhere.
anywhere that comes to our schools, right?
Yes,
I'd like to make one small comment.
sure.
I appreciate very much that on the flyer for the BIPOC talk, you define what BIPOC is. Because we have an acknowledgement and we have determined there for most people, and I've been asked, what does BIPOC mean? And it's Black, Indigenous, people of color. So I'm really glad to see that. And I really welcome you being here, like Phoenix, and even the town judge that was here, because these folks are dealing with issues in the community that are very much real. It's about the well-being and the thriving of our children. I'm wondering if we're gonna hear from recreation or the Moriarty people,
Oh, we're gonna try to sprinkle them in,
Yeah, I think that's important.
Yeah.
It's important also. I learned a lot also, and my kids 30 years ago were there. I learned a lot, of the activities you have here, so I really appreciate your presentation.
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, how can I help, I'll try to do my job here on the board and help with
Well,
that.
look, I appreciate, that there aren't a lot of youth centers, and I say this all the time out loud. I always appreciate how the town has always seen value in kind of what we do. And that's appreciated in the community. I mean, we've got so much. We have 2 vans now, both of which we got, it took us a while to raise money for the first one. But the second one, I mean, we were able to raise that. Car for a Cause gave us a grant to buy a second van. So this is stuff that we've been able to accumulate without having to, taxpayers for it. So, it's been nice, like getting certain things so we can keep going. And that Lowe's grant was coming at a time where I would have to go to the board and say, hey, I need a roof, like we're having a hard time
Yeah.
here. The building's 100 years old,
Do you write the grants?
What's that?
Do you write the grants?
Well, that was, yeah, but it wasn't.
It's more
wasn't
of
that
a, almost a
complicated.
contest.
If there's,
Yeah.
like for the other one, you just mentioned another one.
Yeah, Car for a Cause, yeah, and it's not that hard. I mean, you're basically in competition with other places, so it's a lot of interviews and stuff like
But-
that, but we get lucky sometimes. I mean,
I don't
McDonald's
know if
gave
that's
us.
luck, you have a good.
Yeah.
turnout.
Well, yeah, thank
Yeah.
you, but
Take
and
some
also
credit.
McDonald's gave us 10,000 to build that skate park 10 years ago or 15 years ago or whatever, so, we get these things when we seem to need them.
Did I hear correctly, you have a board, that overlooks that oversees the youth center?
No, but there used to be a youth commission,
That's right.
years ago, but that was disbanded, 15 years ago, I don't know,
Hmm,
for whatever
interesting.
reason, but
Do you
yeah,
see a
no,
need
there was a
for
youth
one?
commission. I'm sorry?
Do you see a need for one?
No, I think that was part of it. They were just kind of like, the supervisor at the time didn't feel like they were a necessary part. And-
Maybe, board that goes out and hustles for, stuff to help them out, that kind of board. That kind of board, you know about that, right, Kate?
Yeah, I mean,
Those are difficult to find. those
right, I
people.
mean, the way that you've managed to get donations is really remarkable and avoids asking for
Mhm.
donations, which is, something that a town agency can't do.
Right,
But our community has figured out how to
Right.
donate to you.
right. That's kind of the idea.
This is maybe we should ask, Hudson Valley One or somebody to do an article on our youth program to, for people to know more about
It
it.
is incredible. I mean, that you took over Clean Sweep is just phenomenal. I
I'm
mean,
sorry?
Clean Sweep,
Oh, yeah.
which was a big deal. The Chamber of Commerce gave up, it's a big
It
program.
was
So
definitely
you
fun.
guys have filled in a lot of gaps.
Yeah, COVID took some programs away, Taste the New
Mhm.
Paltz.
Oh, yeah.
So there was a bunch of things that we were doing, the fireworks, right? And we were like,
Yeah.
where did these things go? And it was-
Yeah.
Well, just the fact that in 2023, 321 different kids in 6th to 12th grades, that's not quite half of the enrollment, but that's a lot of the
Well,
enrollment.
but
in
I'll
the-
point out though, those are the kids who came to the youth center.
Hmm.
That's just the youth center.
Oh,
So the
okay.
kids we tutor in the middle school, those are all
They don't
different
come-
kids.
yeah.
The kids at the high school that are in the cafe are mostly kids we've never met before. That's what I love about it. I love the collaborations, like we're able to work with the school, like that's a big thing. So when a kid
Yeah.
comes to the Cozy Corner and they're having a tough day and they need a break but they're not talking to anybody, that's our
Mhm.
opportunity to kind of bring them to guidance. And say like, who your guidance counselor is, or what about the school social worker? Do you guys get along? I don't really know them. Well, what if I introduced you, The school has them throughout the day. We have a lot of them after school and the parents have them all night. So between the 3 entities, it's important to kind of
Everybody's
work
working,
together.
yeah.
Takes a
Okay.
village, right?
All right, well, thank you
Yeah,
so much,
great
Jim, for
stuff.
coming. We
Thanks.
really
So
appreciate it.
where it would be the best place for these to go now that we've read them?
Thank you for your.
Is there?
That's a good question. Let's give it some thought. Okay, Roseanne, I just want to let you know that S.E. Lewis, councilperson, joined us at 7:40.
Got it, thank you.
You're welcome, ma'am. Okay, so now we have some other business to do, but because we have Chief Sutton with us, I think we need to go into executive session. I'd like a motion to go into executive session for the purpose of work history of certain particular persons and litigation.
So moved, Julie.
Second, Kitty?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I think I put this on something, I forget what. I blank it out. I do that. We're back.
Hello.
Rosanna, thank you. You're hanging in there, lady. Okay, we're now going to zoom through the rest of this agenda. Okay, we are, I need a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Second.
So that was Julie and Essie. Any discussion? Nope. Okay, Edgar will rejoin us in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Thank you. All right, consent agenda. We've got the minutes from the last meeting. The authorization to approve, sadly, Janice Butcher's resignation from the Police Commission. The authorization to approve the reappointment of Charlotte Carr to the Board of Assessment Review for a new 5-year term. Authorization to approve Steve, I don't know how to say his name, Steve Knox.
Not.
From Ethics Board, Knox resignation from Ethics Board effective September 5th. Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Kitty, so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We already talked about the fact that there's now openings on the Police Commission and the Ethics Committee. Okay. Okay. Authorize the $19,500 received from the sale of a used New Paltz Police Department patrol vehicles, actually 2 of them, 342, 343, to be placed in the New Paltz Police Department Vehicle Reserve account. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Julie.
Second, Kitty.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Okay. Authorization to pay Whispering Pines Development Corporation pay app number 4 in the amount of, you ready for this, folks? $527,305.87 for the Henry W. Du Bois Bike and Ped Project. Do I have a motion?
So moved, Julie.
Second, Essie.
Discussion? All in
Are you gonna
favor?
be writing any more checks?
Oh, man,
Oh,
yeah, do you think,
Okay,
they're not
and
to-
then
just the
I know
beginning.
some of it is grant.
a lot of it's grant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of it's
okay.
grant.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Authorization to approve reimbursing Diane Lee, our assessor, for expenses incurred for attending agriculture/farm appraisal class, which is coming up October 21st through 25th. And it will be, these are the amounts here. There's the hotel, there's no tuition, but there's it's off-site. Hotel room, which she looked for, trying to get, the 100, whatever she could get, mileage and meals.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Kitty, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Authorization to approve the adoption of a resolution authorizing an intermunicipal agreement with the Village of New Paltz for Harmony Hall pilot payment in lieu of taxes.
So moved. Kitty.
Do I have a second? Nobody wants to second this one?
I mean, it's already been, well,
Julie, second.
All
okay.
right, do
So-
you want discussion?
The discussion, it was already approved by the town board in December of last year.
Correct.
So this is really just signing it?
So it was already approved to sign it. It didn't get signed, but we need a resolution for so I have to sign it. That part's over. We have to have a resolution that there's an intermunicipal agreement about
Right.
how it's going to be collected and distributed. So at the meeting of the town board of New Paltz at the courthouse at 59 Putt Corners on the 19th day of September at, what time is it? 9:30. The meeting was called to order, roll call being called. So first you have to call the roll. Okay. Councilmember Julie Seifert Lewis.
Here.
Councilmember Essie Lewis.
Present.
Councilmember Kristen Brown.
Here,
Just the
Cancel.
supervisor's name that's there, that's correct or that stands?
does it still say Betez?
Is that supervisor, but
On the
It's right here.
meet,
Oh, yeah, no, I did mention that, but I guess. it
I
didn't
sorry, I
get-
didn't see that.
Oh.
Thank you. Councilmember Edgar Rodriguez. Present.
yes.
And Supervisor Amanda Gatto, present. The following resolution was offered by, somebody has to read this. Who wants to do it? Julie, thank you, lady.
Do they need to be read? Oh,
I
full
don't think so.
resolutions? You don't mean the entire resolution?
Read some of it so we can say it was offered by you. You can do at the
I think
end.
the disposition of the funds is
Therefore
important.
be resolved?
Well, where does it say where the money is going? That's,
Rosanna, do we have to read the entire resolution?
No, probably just the last couple of resolved.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Oh, the last one.
oh, okay. It basically describes how the money is gonna be divided between the 4 taxing authorities.
I'll just read, yeah, now therefore be resolved that the following. That following the receipt by the town of the amounts payable by the company. As payments in lieu of taxes, such amounts shall be allocated by the town among the taxing entities in proportion to the amount of real property taxes. Which would have been received by each taxing entity had the project facility not been exempt from real property taxes. Further resolved that the supervisor of New Paltz. Or the duly appointed deputy, as the case may be, is hereby authorized to execute and acknowledge on behalf of the town. A certain IMA for the agreement, sorry, intermunicipal agreement for the apportionment of funds in the form. Attached, copy of which said intermunicipal agreement shall be promptly given to the town of New Paltz assessor and to its comptroller for their assistance in effecting an intent of this resolution. Supervisors, I think that's probably good enough.
So
right?
now we call the vote.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Member Julie Seifert Lillis?
Present.
Oh, no, we're voting.
I'm sorry.
You've been in
You're
school
here.
too long.
I had it right that time. No, yes,
Awesome.
I,
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Member Essie Lewis?
Hi.
Member Kristen Brown?
Aye.
Member Edgar Rodriguez?
Absent. Okay,
Okay. And Supervisor Mandagato. Okay, thank you very much, folks. That takes this one finally out of our hands. It's too bad it is what it is, but it is what it is. Okay, so we have done that. Authorization, this is now item 7, authorization for Chief Sutton to purchase an administrative vehicle via auto auction using funds from the New Paltz Police Department Vehicle Reserve Account. Do I have a motion?
so moved.
Second?
Julie,
Julie moved it. Anyone want to second it?
Kitty, second.
All right, any discussion?
Yeah, I just have a question about, when we do it via auto auction, isn't it like as is? Is that the best use of our money?
It's a good question. They are used. I mean, it's not like, I don't think there's brand new ones unless they've
And I-
been somehow been, you know.
And I don't think at auction well, I don't know, but I don't know if you have the, advantage of having like a mechanic look at it. I just
I
wonder if that's the
think
best way to do
that,
it, because these vehicles are important and they need to be reliable.
Right.
And,
Right.
lasting as much as they can.
right,
Well, I think because this is an administrative, it's not gonna be a vroom vroom
It's not
police
like
car.
right.
So,
we wanted to be.
So maybe it does.
I think they
good
try to
purchase.
find,
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
one that's, you know, maybe it was a fleet vehicle or something like that. It's
Well,
got some miles on it.
Maybe just for us to have discussion about,
Okay.
in the future.
All right. So are we ready to take a vote on this? All in
Mhm.
favor?
Aye.
aye.
Aye, okay. Authorization to accept a quote for a 24x24 garage to be placed at the Field of Dreams. And this is being purchased with ARPA funds. Bids
You
were put
said
out,
To approve a quote, so we did get,
yes, we're gonna have the discussion. Bids were put out with no responders.
well,
Is
you
that
said to
all?
accept a quote. I just wanna make sure.
I changed this because this,
Oh, okay.
all right, do I
Is
have,
that ARPA?
it's ARPA, yes, it's also ARPA.
just.
It's
APOR.
It is ARPA, that was wrong. It
This is
is
a typo,
ARPA.
you're saying?
It's a typo. It's ARPA
So
funds.
Okay, okay,
Okay,
okay.
all right, do I have a motion
Authorization
to
approve.
accept a quote, for the garage? To accept a quote because we got no bids when we asked for, you know, nobody responded on bids. So can
How
we
do you
just,
approve of a quote? with-
Right.
do you want to have a discussion for,
response.
let's, we're following our procedure. Do we want, someone will make a motion that we are going to,
I would like to make that motion.
Thank you. Somebody want to second it?
Kitty
Okay,
second.
now we'll have the discussion. Okay. So because no one bid on it, we can accept a quote because we don't have to go with the, three, we can select one quote because we got no bids.
So we
That's the
have a
procedure.
quote.
We have a quote. It is for $49,852.
That's what I was gonna say, except- And right on the.
Right,
agenda anyway.
it's,
Yeah, I-
it's,
I-
yeah,
I-
okay. So the deal is the ARPA money has to be spent by the end of the year.
How
So
much
we,
is the ARPA money?
$49,852. We have ARPA money.
Perfect.
Yes.
Sold.
Yes, and if we can put in an order for it, even if it isn't installed until January something, it qualifies. So
Great.
that's the
Mhm.
deal.
So is Building and Grounds installing or they're installing?
So
Is
it
that
sounds like they're gonna pour some concrete, they're gonna put a slab in,
Oh, so
all
they're
that kind of
installing.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So,
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yay, okay.
Good work.
Authorization for the highway department, okay, here's some more with typos, to purchase the truck body from the Snow Line 5142. It's a dump truck, it's not a boat.
The bump.
What's
The
happening with
bump
our-
truck.
Don't know. And I thought I read this thing. Okay, for a one-ton dump truck to replace the rusted out original one as approved. So we approved the money coming out of the highway department, but we didn't approve the purchase. So this is step one, step two. So at the last meeting, we said, yeah, you could take the money out of the reserve fund. But now it's going to be, this is, so I need a motion to authorize the purchase.
So moved. Kitty.
Second, Lippman.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. And actually what we approved last time was to move the money from one fund to another so that it was available to do this. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Authorization to approve the September warrant in the amount of, okay, this is another one. Oh my God, $2,749,554.68.
Wow.
Do I have a
So moved,
motion?
Julie.
Okay, second, anybody?
Edgar.
Edgar, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Right. Okay, liaison reports. It looks like Essie has two.
Why are they- oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was like, never mind,
That's okay.
optional. No, okay. So.
It's not, it's like not all the meetings
I
fall
know,
at the
I
same
have
time.
happened.
Yeah.
So the ethics committee is easy. I say this all the time. They are only obligated to meet. I feel like it's once a year, but they've already met twice.
Okay,
They don't have monthly meetings, I should say, and they meet as needed as well, if there's an issue. So they met in March on the 12th and in May on the 21st. There's no violations pending, and we are seeking, as you all announced, 2 members. So if anyone's interested, please do send a letter of interest to be interviewing. And they were
yeah.
planning to try to have another meeting before the end of the year, and
I thought we asked for one about the question about whether the judge could approve or comment on the timesheet of the special prosecutor, since none of us have any idea.
we have to request, we have to also submit something, or do we just ask them the question?
So
I don't-
when I asked Jim, he said he'd look into it,
Okay,
Judge Bacon,
Right,
and then
he
he was
said.
told by ethics that they needed to, but
he
I-
needs to fill it out.
so I thought he seemed to think they were gonna meet in September and discuss it, so I don't know. It
So
doesn't sound like it.
they, okay, so they already have it, because I wasn't aware that they had an issue to discuss.
Yeah, that's what seems to be, there's like a
Right,
gap
so-
somewhere. He told me that it had to go to the ethics board. He was
Right.
told it had to go to ethics, so
Okay.
I thought he, but we'll find out.
So as the liaison, do I reach out to him, or do I have the chair reach out to him? Or does that not happen? Is there not a form he should fill out?
It seems like there should be something.
That's what I think should happen. He should
Yeah,
fill out.
let me fill.
Maybe we can.
check
check
back
back
with
There
him.
is a process.
Yeah, there is
for
a
it.
process. There's
Yeah,
a form that someone fills out, I
a
believe. if he has
town
a question,
employee.
He needs to fill out.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
because the problem I'm having with this is now possibly there's something in the court records that says the special prosecutor was here on these dates, these,
Has
heard
to be,
these,
because
these.
his appearances, you have to state your appearance as an attorney when you.
Yeah, so it must be in some record somewhere. So that's something to follow up on.
The
Okay.
clerks can find that.
Okay, because that's just, when he sends,
mean, it's-
sends in invoices, we're like, what?
And it shows what cases he's assigned to too. That's like
Okay,
something that can be looked up in that form.
Okay,
And then the other thing is just police commission, they met on September tenth, they heard both the July and the August reports because they didn't have a
quorum.
August meeting.
Oh.
Right. And they are also seeking another member, so if you're interested in being on the police commissions, please do send a letter of interest. And their next meeting is October 8th at 7 PM at the community center. And then they also had a conversation with police on September 16th that was here at New Paltz Police Department, and I don't think we've scheduled for October yet.
Okay.
And then just one thing was, there was a kind of long, a few comments or in public session, public comments that Tom Joliffe made and wanted to be part of, wants to be part of the minutes and just spread, you know, when I give this report, wants it to be shared as well. So I'm just gonna very briefly, say what those issues are, and there are minutes missing from April 9th. So normally we post the minutes, but the April 9th ones are missing.
You're talking about the police commission?
Yes, police commission,
Okay.
not ours. And then he wanted, so apparently there was an agreement to actually, commission adopted a resolution back in March that they would post blank copies of personnel performance evaluation forms. So we're not talking about the actual
It's just
completed
what the
evaluation,
form
just
looks
what the form looks
Okay.
like. And so that he's looking to be completed, that they're actually posted. And so the resolution that they adopted was supposed to circulate the forms for review and comment by the members, circulate the forms to the Department of Personnel, and post a finalized draft for public to comment on. So I think his concern is he wants to be able to comment on the evaluation forms
So,
in
do-
their blank state.
right, does the police commission normally have a public comment, part of their meeting?
Yes.
Okay, and when it said to go to Department of Personnel, you mean the town personnel
Yes.
department? That's Eileen, she does.
Mhm,
Okay, very good.
mhm.
Well, so he wants the police commission to follow up on these things, right? Okay,
Two more things. He wants there to be discussion about spit hoods. He wants there to be an actual policy around the use of spit hoods. He wanted to know more about PNGs, and what's gonna be done to make sure that that doesn't happen again, that we're, regulating or not limiting, prohibiting, making sure that there isn't underage drinking, that we don't have the same issues. So he wanted to hear about what was gonna be done about that,
okay.
going forward.
Cassie, can I interrupt you?
Sure.
About that item? So in a local newspaper, relating to a major report by a local newspaper on what happened at PNGs, they actually published what the agreement was between PNGs and
The
and
liquor
the
authority,
state
board.
liquor authority.
Oh, good.
And there was one item that caught my attention, and I'll pass it down. It says the head of security, meaning the head of security at PNGs, must have regular meetings with the sheriff's department and or local police department. Okay, and that's an agreement that they now have between PNGs and the state. Because of the issues that occurred in PNGs before.
Mhm,
And I have always asked, what was the role of the New Paltz Police?
mhm.
Were they participate? I don't think so. And if they did not participate in that raid, why not?
Well,
I don't expect an
Right.
answer here, but
yeah,
I've asked the question.
I mean, if they're requested, if assistance is requested, they will assist, so if it was a liquor violation, I mean, it's a different thing, and they don't go into establishments to do security and stuff, that's supposed to be done by the
Right, they go
business.
to all.
The liquor authorities.
Right.
Yeah, but it was, they used the Ulster County Sheriff's Office. And
That's,
why not the New Paltz Police?
Well,
Because
that's
it's a
a question
state,
for them,
Yeah.
why they didn't call us.
Yeah. Okay,
Last thing.
Oh.
Sorry, just one more.
sorry.
Is, he was requesting that the actual commissioners report on what their activities were like outside of the commission meetings. He seems to think that they were doing things and that the public, that they should be recognized for the other things that they're doing.
Oh,
So
okay,
he just
that's
wanted them
nice.
to be able to share some of the things that they're doing because they are active community members.
Very good.
That's all.
Okay. So the thing about the liaison reports is we all cover different meetings that meet at different times.
Yes.
And so they're not gonna all have they're not gonna all have a report every meeting, but I don't think we wanna like save them all up and then have 12, So let's just, when you have one, you have it, and you don't, you don't.
Okay.
But I think we really, really appreciate it being like this for Rosanna's sake, for the minutes. It doesn't have to be this way in the agenda, but it has to be, if you do it ahead of time, it keeps you very focused and kind of like boop, boop,
Mhm.
boop. And then for the minutes, if you provide it to her that way, it's very easy for her to, capture instead of a lot of, kind of dialogue and stuff like that. So get your, main points out there. So that would be good. We didn't have anything added, except I will say that our next meeting, which is October 3rd, is going to be basically a budget workshop.
Right.
We will only have agenda items that are time critical that, have to be done, but otherwise we're gonna focus on the budget, which you will be getting. It will go, I forget the name of it, tentative, will go out to Rosanna on Monday. And then she will, and you guys will get it. And then you have that week and the weekend and a few days after that to go through it, get, and put all your thoughts on it, get all your questions out there. And then when we have our budget meeting, our workshop, we'll go through it.
Can we email you technical questions
Sure.
about the budget?
Sure.
And do we need to announce the meeting of the 25th?
We already
did.
did.
We did already?
Yeah, that was in the beginning.
Mm.
Yep.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
do I have a motion to adjourn it?
So move,
So-
Julie.
Second, yes.
As it is
That's
all
all.
time.
Any discussion? No, all in favor?
Hi.
Thank you, folks. Hey,
Night,
we
Rosanna.
need at 10 o'clock.
Night.
Thank you, Rosanna.
Thank you, Rosanna.
Thank you. Good night.
Helen, I'm
night.
gonna send her the bullets for Tom's stuff, cause I
Okay.
was like incoherent.
Okay,
All right.
you'll get
Thank
some
you.
more bullets from Essie.
No problem.
Thank
Okay.
you.
I won't do
Bye-bye. All right, in meeting for